Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I'm so excited to be here as part of the October 2017 release with Waffle Flower Crafts. And I'm going to be using this awesome Big Bear and Bird set. It's a new one called Books and Coffee, and stamping out a few images and do some colouring before I get onto the crux of the card, which is using some of the new dies that they have at Waffle Flower this release. It's such a fun release. I know you're going to love it. Alright, so I'm going to get on with some stamping and colouring now. I have a piece of, this is some wood grain cardstock and a book image from the stamp set, and I'm stamping it out a couple of times. Actually, I stamp it out 3 times I think in total, because I want this to look like a wooden book cover, but this cardstock, or the wood paper, isn't very thick, so I do actually mount it up onto the cardstock in the end just to give it some support. I'm using the sentiment and the strawberry from a little stamp set called Claire. It's one of the monkey image stamp sets. Really cute image, and I thought it'd make a great book cover. So I'm using the matching die here to die cut the cardstock book out of, and I'm just holding that in place just to work out where my little scene's going to go. This is a panel that's going to go on the front of my card, and I've already stamped out the remainder of my images except for this little milk carton, and done some simple masking, and now I'm going to do some really easy colouring with some Prismacolor pencils. And I'm going to leave you with this now, but be back when all the colouring is done. Of course, I'll list all the colours and everything over at my blog. Don't forget to visit there, because that's how you can find out how you can win if you're here in October 2017. The link will be in the YouTube description below. So I did decide to make the book, like the pages of the book, white. That's why I had to stamp it out a 3rd time, and I've used my marker just to draw in the edges of these images, just to get rid of any white edges in the cardstock that I'm colouring, so it looks all nice and neat and fussy cut. And I use my matte medium to adhere them all together, and this is just adhering it onto the die cut to give it some support. So this is the A2 pull tab die here. It comes in 3 different sizes. The one that I'm using today is the medium size. So I'm just quickly die cutting a white tab and the pull tab, and then using the medium matching die. So if I measure up for the top of the A2 card, I use the short side if I'm doing a portrait, and if I want the middle of the landscape size, I just use the long side of the die cut. It makes it so easy. Each way it just lines up perfectly. I'll just run that through my die cutting machine, and I've just want to create the channel now to run the pull tab through, and to make it the size that I want, I've just taped it in place on my card front, and I'm just going to partially die cut it. So I'm using my normal cutting sandwich here, and I just want it to cut above the ears of the rabbit. So I've made sure that the top plate of my Big Shot just sits above that, and it's only going to cut to where the top plate is. Perfect. This is probably the hardest part of the whole card, is opening up the sort of little flaps on the pull tab and fitting them through the channel here. And it's not hard at all, seriously. It's just, I make it look hard. So once both of those are through the channel, it just slides beautifully. And I'm using some liquid glue to attach the little tabs, and then I can put my the other bit that I die cut, the little rectangle there, and that's what I'm using to actually adhere the image to. So once that's dry, I'll add some, these are the micro glue dots, and I think I added about 3 to the little tab there, and then I can just pop my book up on top of that, and my rabbit is magically hidden. Isn't that fabulous? I've got the pull tab pushed down as far as it could possibly go, and then the green little tab pull that I did, this is the medium one to match the medium pull tab that I used. I'm just going to adhere that in place now with some liquid glue, like just at the top of that tab there. I thought it was a good idea to make this coloured, just to know, for the person that receives the card, so they know that there's something that they've got to do. If it was white, they might not see it. And the green's fun. Now the extra of this tab that I cut off, I decided to just add some score tape behind there on each side and adhere that down just to help support that pull tab. You don't need to do this. I haven't added any bulk at all behind the card. This is the front of my top fold card. I'm adding my ATG adhesive, just making sure to add lots of adhesive, but nowhere near where the mechanical parts of the card are going to be, so it doesn't actually interfere with the interactive portion of the card. Now I can just pop that on top of my card, and my card is finished. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to head over to my blog, and you'll find the link to the hop and see heaps more inspiration for this wonderful new release. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.